Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it just finished at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 4, Newcastle United 1. And there is not really much more I can say, or many adjectives I can use to describe that performance. But Newcastle got battered. And in a way, I'm quite surprised about it. Like, I expected quite a tough game today. I expected this to be more difficult than it was. And yeah, like, particularly first half, we were unbelievable. It's probably the best performance of the season so far, in my opinion. Literally from start to finish of that first half, Newcastle couldn't get anywhere near us. We were basically like camped in their half of the pitch. We were 2-0 up by half time. We scored through a set piece that ended up being an own goal, and then by Sven Botman, and then brilliant work by Martinelli to put in Havertz, who tapped home for 2-0. And at this point, it looked like we were cruising. Going at half-time, second half, we weren't as kind of intense, and I kind of knew that was going to happen. I kind of knew that we wouldn't be as intense as we were in the first half. Like, we were pressing like mad every time, forcing Newcastle into errors, pouncing on every loose ball. It looked like it could have been like 4 or 5 by the end of the first half. But yeah, we came out second half. We weren't as intense as we were in the first half, but I felt we were still managing the game well. Newcastle sort of came back into the game, and I was thinking to myself before half time, I was thinking, there's no way Newcastle can be as bad as they have been this first half. And they weren't, to be fair, for the first 10 minutes. And then we get another corner, and that's another thing that was really good. We were forcing them into giving us corners and stuff like that. We had a lot of set pieces. Obviously, half of the goals we scored were from set pieces. But yeah, we get a corner flicked in by Kivior, 3-0. On that point, it was just a case of damage limitation from a Newcastle perspective. Saka then scores another great individual goal. I think that's 16 for the season now. And yeah, 4-0, and it's looking good. Get to about the 84th minute, and Joe Willock scores a header. And it's, again, as always, it always seems to be our old players that come and score against us, which is quite annoying. I would have liked to have the clean sheet. I thought David Raya played really well, and to be honest, I'm now starting to see why Arteta signed him. I can now see what he does better than Ramsdale. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's better than Ramsdale, but I can see the argument to see what he does better than Ramsdale does. But I thought for the most part he played well. I think we probably could have been a bit better defensively for that goal, and I think again he was caught at his far post. He was too far away. But other than that, I thought he played well. Jorginho came in for this game, and he was unbelievable. Man of the match on TNT Sport in the UK here. And he was amazing. Kai Havertz is that's the best I've seen him play in an Arsenal shirt, in my opinion. He had like fire. He was running around like his shorts were on fire. It was crazy. Like, I think what happened in the away game really lit a fire under players like Havertz, and even Ødegaard said at the end of the game that, like, what happened at St James's Park really fired them on to go and make a statement. And I think we did that, For Newcastle, I'm very, very shocked, because I haven't really watched Newcastle play much this season, apart from like when they played City or when they played United or something like that, or Liverpool. And they've always seemed to be in those games, whereas this game, they weren't in it at all. Even when they scored, they weren't in it. That was just more than anything a consolation. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen to them. I think they're like 14 to 15 points behind Villa now. I think they're in 7th or 8th. But yeah, that takes us 1 point behind City, who are in second. I actually thought we were going joint second with City, but I got my maths wrong. And we're 2 points behind Liverpool at the top. I think by the time we next play, I think both City and Liverpool would have played before us again. So, because our next game is the next Monday night football against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. So yeah, I think we're you know, it's going to be a tough one. There's 12 games to go in the league, and it's going to be tough. Like we're getting into that business end of the season now, where you need to get results week in, week out. And so far, so good. 6 wins in 6 in the league. Obviously, we had that little bit of a slip up, losing to Porto in the Champions League. But yeah, and we've got a very, very hard run in. We've got Spurs at White Hart Lane in that. We've got City at the Etihad in that. We've got Chelsea at the Emirates, which I think is just before the run in. We've also got Man United at Old Trafford, the penultimate game of the season. So yeah, it's going to be tough. I actually think the Chelsea game is going to be tough. I was thinking before I came on that even though they've been very indifferent this season and inconsistent, I think they will turn up against us. I don't think it will be as easy as it was last season at the Emirates. But yeah, I was disappointed. I mean, obviously, I'm happy we won. I'm over the moon. We won. I was dancing at the end, but yeah, I'm also quite disappointed that Newcastle didn't put up much of a fight. But yeah, like it was the best performance of the season for me so far. I can't think of any others that really top that, because I wouldn't say Liverpool, the win over Liverpool, which was our last home game in the league, was as good a performance as this. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that for me, this is the best performance of the season. And Newcastle are meant to be like the new boys in town now, so makes it even more sweet, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back again, because we're out of the FA Cup, obviously. So you won't see me again until closer to the Sheffield United game, which will be the end of next week. So yeah, just a flag as well. I know that the channel has been very Armchair Armory heavy recently. As I mentioned in, the pilot episode of Stream Thoughts, which I'm still thinking about whether I'm going to continue. I'm in the middle of selling. Well, I'm in the middle of a property sale at the moment, so I don't really have that much time. I know, and because I'm back and forth from London quite often, I haven't had much time to sit down and much time or energy to sit down and do extra videos. But I'm planning to get back on playing things soon. I'm going to try and finish off Star Trek Resurgence in the next few weeks. There's also a few other games which I won't spoil on here that I'm planning on starting and putting up on the channel. But yeah, also in terms of the other stuff, obviously we had Poor Things, the review on Reviewing Things the other day, and then Favorite Things. I think that's still on an indefinite hiatus, because every time I say to myself, I've got to do the research for the next video, I never get round to doing it. So I think once things are more settled and I know what's going on and I'm no longer in limbo, I will continue that. But yeah, I've kind of set it out into seasons now. So we're going to have, the last one is season 1, and then season 2 will come very, very soon. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've spoken for way too long. As I say, I'll be back again closer to the Sheffield United game. As always, take care and stay safe.